What is up, everybody? This is Tikwe, also known as Richard, and I'm coming back to you with another casted game showing you the Chinese. We are playing against Cartman. He is playing the Holy Roman Empire, and you know what? This is going to be a banger of the video. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean by that. You can see he's going for 4 onto the gold, which is very heavy for a season 2 HRE veteran myself, just looking at the build style and then actually going for shore-based fish, which is not a bad idea. I think they gather a little bit quicker than sheep if I remember correctly, but then you have the sheep as a secondary food source and so on. But the person that I want to focus on is the Chinese. The reason why I'm saying that is you can see I started immediately with 5 villagers on the straggler tree here, getting a mill out, and then actually supposed to have an imperial official coming out right now, which was supposed to be this villager, not another villager, but you'll see I'll adjust shortly and get that imperial official out. And then after that you go 3 onto gold. Now you want to start moving your sheep, and you'll see there's my first scout, only going for 1 scout, and I'll just toggle foggle for here so I can show you guys. There's very little sheep on this side. When we go over to his side, Cartman's side, he also has only the 1 scout, but he's coming down this side already, so I actually am running over his already explored area, which is bad because you lose your scouting. So my recommendation is when you guys are scouting, let's just pause because I don't want to miss anything with the base building. You know, don't necessarily cut up in linear, cut across, because that's a better nature. If you look at the sheep right here, probably some more onto the side right here. Let's have a look. More right here in the middle. So if you see the distance I've already traveled, I would have been able to pick up these ones. And then try and always just make sure at the back of the enemy's base, just loop around the back. There's a high tendency to also pick up sheep around there, just with the scouting. Now, just a quick pause while we get into things here. So the Chinese, in my opinion, is the brand new HRE. Why I'm saying that is their economy is unbelievably strong with the new bonuses. So as you can see, wheelbarrow and those other horticulture and those things, they've been made cheaper. It was, I think, 175. Now it's only 100 gold for like horticulture, and for your specialized pickaxe, as you can see, it's only 50 and 100, and the training time is only 45 seconds. So if you supervise this, which means that the official supervises building, making it produce 150% faster. Resource drop-off building received 20% more resources. So you get more food, kind of like you get with the berries from the Delhi Sultanate. And then also with this inspired at the beginning, you are getting that extra resources. And when you do the wheelbarrows, as you can see there, the time drops all the way to 36 for wheelbarrow. If we hop over to Cartman's side, we are actually on my side. Let's just hop over back. You know, his training time is 100, and wheelbarrow is actually 1 minute and 30. You can see how big of a difference it is. 1 minute and 30 to get wheelbarrow compared to 36 seconds that you can get it as the Chinese, which is unbelievable. So if you get your economy right and you get those timings right, you are going to be in a really, really good place. So just to show you guys what I did, I went onto the straggler tree, then onto the food while you get your imperial official out. It takes a little bit of time. It's 20 seconds, so you lose technically 1 villager. Once that's done, you move 3 onto gold and then back onto food, and I'll show you guys exactly why. So let's get into this game. So thank you very much for also being patient with me with not posting so much over the last few weeks. I want to say months. I'm in the process of moving to New Zealand, so we have been getting ready, you know, to go down under, go down to that area of the world for some new work. So the channel has been doing good. I got authenticated, so my YouTube is fully authenticated right now. That took some time to get that right. It's a whole process, but thank you very much for everybody's support and everything in doing all of this. So Let's look at the Holy Roman Empire player. He is still sitting. Let's just switch over to the resources here. 6 on food, that's me. So if we change this, I wonder if it actually switches sides. It doesn't switch sides. So just a little bit of a scout harass. You can see that's the sheep he's picking up. And my side running down all the way here, I didn't pick up anything, but we got a really good spawn. The stone is at the back here. We have a back gold, it's not forward like right here, and then we have forward gold and stone right here. So we want to go out for map priority first. And looking at the Holy Roman Empire, this is usually the time right there. Mineswork Palace, really good timing on the Mineswork Palace, so his microing and stuff wasn't bad. You can see he moved some off of gold. I think that happened with the scouting, and then he's doing some long distance chopping right here because he's running out of wood. So it kind of feels good these days to go onto the straggler tree specifically. You just get a smoother build order because the wood in some factions are reduced, especially with if you're going for like a village. He went for a mill, a house, and a mining camp. Excuse me, that was a hiccup. And that was enough to deplete his wood. Now he has to do long distance chopping instead of just going for this little tree. Just take note of that. So really nice sheep brought back here, 10 sheep. We are actually picking up some more right here. We did bring back some here, but you can see now we are sitting on 9 on food, and we are using 1 villager now with the Imperial Academy. You'll see exactly where this comes into play. Keep an eye on the amount of resources that we have right now. We're sitting on 200 food. So just a quick tip on the Imperial Official. You make the first one obviously at the town center. The rest you only do with the Imperial Academy, which allows you not to have any loss with your training boost at the start. If you keep training Imperial officials from here, when you have 2, that's perfect, but 1 is fine. And you don't want to get 2 out too quickly, and you don't want to rush this too quickly, and I'll show you guys exactly why. We are going for a very, very early Song Dynasty. We are actually quite behind on that timer. We should have been able to get this down in 5 minutes. If you get it perfect, you can get Song Dynasty 5 minutes and get ready for, you know, transitioning into stone, and by 5 minutes, or let's say 6 minutes, we'll see how long this took me, but around 6 minutes 30 you should be able to go to TC and be very, very secure with your build. So now we are on that 360 food. We have some villagers in queue, as you can see here. We will actually cancel one of those villagers so we can get the right amount of food. I usually group my villagers like this, so I can, you know, just take my villagers. Scout is usually 1 house, or my town center is keybind 2, so I just jump in between that like this. And you can see now we have a second Imperial official out. Actually, that's the normal Imperial official. Sorry, you can see it's not supervised right now. So we are moving those villagers over now to get a Barbican of the Sun up. In pro game, I saw this Barbican up at 4 minutes 30. That's how clean you can get it out. I mean, if this was a knight, he's gonna run into a town center, or he's gonna run into a Barbican very, very early if he gets anything wrong. So that's a very safe way to play. You have extra access wood if you have to go for a stable, or like you can see we have 150 wood. So if you wanted to go for a stable or a barracks to get some spearmen out, that's going to be perfect. And also right now it should have been good to transition into stone so that you actually have that timing perfect on when you reach 400 and 350. You can then transition into a second town center and also start planning out your map. So if this was you, I'll show you guys the map right now. You can see there's berries, gold and stone, big large stone vein right here. You already have the stone and gold kind of secured right here. I wanted to keep it close so there's no, you know, kind of idea of running this way around, even though you can, you know, get into the base like that. I wanted to focus on that. Or you can go for a berry and wood line with a market right here, and secure that. Or there's a hunt right here with some stone. So if that was you, I think the best, if I think about it right now, the best would have been probably right here and securing a lot of resources on this forward front. which probably would have been the best place to go. So you can also see my scout, and he's rallying like literally all the way around, and I just went around 1 or 2 or 3 times. The reason I'm doing that is like I have consistent information with the fog of war of what's going on in his base. I can see he's on gold. We already spotted the stone, we spotted the double barracks, so we know there's going to be early aggression and we need to prepare for that. So when you see, look at my economy, I'm staying garrisoned onto the stone right now to get the second town center, because we know, 4 or 5 men-at-arms is not going to do that much. They're going to make me cause a little bit of idle and so forth, but it's probably going to go for the timing of all in on the castle age, and we want to make sure or understand exactly where or when that's going to happen, and that's also dictating the pace of our game. So every now and then you'll see the scout come across here. We are now on 8 villagers on wood, which is these ones right here. We are on 7 on stone, that's right here, and 13 on food, which is primarily here, and we just dropped a mill on the water so we can get some food going right there. We see them transitioning into the deer. They're already off stone, so second town center is coming up, but we are already in the Song dynasty, so this is not a big problem if another faction gets a second town center before you, because the thing is that Aussie Drongo said once, if you are investing resources in something, you have to sacrifice something else. You can't have a town center, have 20 men-at-arms, have a perfect economy, and age up at the same time. You can't. It's visually not really possible. We are a little wolf there that we killed. We're transitioning into the deer, which is a really nice spawn, by the way. Sometimes you get the berries here and the deer a little bit closer, but this deer is as safe as you are going to get right now. But the point is, we saw the second town center going down right there, and we are over on the food and the wood and the stone, so that we can get into the second town center. But we have the Song dynasty, and we're just pumping out the villagers, getting that extra villagers onto the food right now, because with the imperial official now, you'll see that there is 2. Let's just quickly find them. Gosh, there's the first one, there's the second one. I moved him from this mill to here so that he can get that tax on that building. And also you want to keep buildings within this vicinity, because it says buildings within the influence generate 100% gold in taxes. So you gain more taxes. So nice little timing from him, a little bit late I would say, probably pushing some upgrades. Not even upgrades, probably the second town center taking a bit of time, but he's going for a second town center, as you guys can see right here. Another barracks, which is a waste because you have a Burgrave Palace, which counts as 4 barracks. So this is a big waste, because this could have been rams or a siege workshop or a lot of other things, or even some extra upgrades, which he actually did get. He did get the upgrade for the hunt, he got the farming upgrade, and he got wheelbarrow. So great, as you can see right here in the top. We got wheelbarrow, wheelbarrow, double broadaxe, pickaxe. He actually didn't get the horticulture, that's probably still busy somewhere. But hopping back to our side where we want to focus on, so we are on the scout, as you can see. We have spotted out a lot, but I don't think we've spotted, there we spot the Burgrave Palace going up right now. So we know aggression is coming, and you can see on the timing, we're getting a perfect timing as well, getting the clockwork up, and now we see that, and very shortly you see we have 2 town centers now. I bind my town centers to 2, my scout to 1. Usually you can do early blacksmith on 3 just to make it a little bit easier, and also you can supervise a blacksmith, which makes these training times a lot quicker. So just take that in mind. You can supervise the blacksmith, you can supervise the mining camp, the mills, all of those little things you can supervise. You can even supervise your astronomical clock tower, so you can pump out those nest of bees. Now with this, there's a little bit of a I want to say a danger zone right now as we aged up, but I think that's to do with the microing, because you can see we're on 36 on food, which is overkill on the food, because that needed to be stabilized on the wood so we can actually have transitioned into that's a bike or something in the background. I do apologize for any background noise. I did fix the sound, but I think there is just some background noise, and I'm sorry about that. So we see more deer expansions happening right here. Like I said with the scout, just keep that circle going and getting the scouting on your enemy. You know, you can have a horseman, just make sure you scout your enemy, but we can see the production happening now from his side. And we know this is kind of secure, and this is quite secure with the palisade wall. You know, we didn't want to waste the stone wall, but I did want to get a forward keep going so that we are able to defend against those very strong and very upgraded men-at-arms. So you can see now we are getting Bloomery, we are getting the insulated helm, the H2 upgrades. We are just going to spam those upgrades and go mass men-at-arms now. This is not the best call when you are countering men-at-arms. The right thing to do right here is go for 1 or 2 barracks, which would be good because it's a cost-effective unit, a trash unit rather, that you can spam. And then you supplement that with maybe 2 or 3 archery ranges, and you go for your crossbowmen. I didn't go for crossbowmen because in my mind I was like, I'm just going to fight fire with fire. Even though his fire is bigger, I think that's a good way to deal with this right now. You can also inspire 2 barracks with your Imperial officials, which counts as 4, so you don't have to necessarily build 4, you know, spare your resources. But the problem was we wanted to get the upgrades out so that when we do face that men-at-arm army, that we'll be ready to face them. I actually didn't spot this men-at-arm running across the map. You can see they are actually rallied all the way down here. All the way down here with the rams. You know, so that's a formidable army. And you can see they have the +1, they have the +1 ranged armor. They are upgraded, so they are castle age men-at-arms. Obviously, you know, we also have the castle age palace guards right here, which is 3 armor and ranged armor plus the 13 damage, which is really not something to frown upon. But you know, on his side, the units are 13 damage, which is the same, but they have heavy maces, so they do +6 extra damage. There is a nice little upgrade you can get in the castle in the Imperial Age, which is called Battle Hardened, which gives you extra 30 health. 155 health over 155 health, so you know that extra 30 health does help a lot if you are fighting Imperial Age. But this is a big army to deal with. Any player fighting against Holy Roman Empire with 22 men-at-arms running into your base, that is not something to frown upon. But we have our men-at-arms or our palace guards going up right here, and actually I thought, there we go, we did have a clockwork nest of bees. Now this is where the game is going to get very interesting, so please bear with us. We have our villages, we have a very booming economy behind this, so you can see 21, 31, 90 villagers, so almost double on his villagers with that Song Dynasty, which is huge. We have the palace guards. It's not an all-in for us, it kind of is for him, because everything is invested into getting this army out. The wood is invested, the food is invested, everything is invested in making this work. Now the thing that I'm just going to pause to explain this to you guys. Okay, we are prepared right here. I didn't think this was scouted, it was just luck of the draw. You can also see we have a monastery out, so we are planning to pick up the relics. We are slow because I need practice. But we have the town center, we have the keep, and we have the Barbican of the Sun, so it doesn't make sense putting all my units this side because that is quite defended and you'll know earlier when something like that's coming. We don't have the defense right here. We have a little palisade wall and nothing right here, which is the core entrance to my base. And you need to kind of say to yourself, okay, if you know this is coming, you can see the reinforcements flooding in right now, right? So he's going all in with this Burgrave Palace, not even using these extra barracks, just going full Burgrave, very heavy on the food. The sheep is probably going to run out, and you know, he has amazing 3 gold veins right here. That would have been a nice little Barbican rush early, but you know, it is what it is. But my point is, you must be willing to sacrifice some things in order to, play the game longer. And I'll show you guys exactly why I say that, okay? This army is coming in right now. We are going to respond with our palace guards, and you can select everything like this, right? Shift click the villagers, control group the units, control group the palace guard. So you have your units now secured, and you'll see if there was a few land canets in here, this would have been a different fight. I would have lost through my teeth if there was 1 or 2 land canets, which he could have trained. They are available in the Castle Age, but he didn't. And if I had the crossbows, obviously, so both sides making some mistakes. So now you can see he's pushing to get rid of this clockwork tower. We're going to put some villagers on that immediately to get the repair done. He's actually pulling 4 men-at-arms to try and break this down. And we are just going to pull some more villagers and make sure that we are repairing this clockwork nest of bees. And with the assistance of the town center, we actually do end up killing the army, right? Now the problem is right here, I actually go for the rams because they are important to get down. But I didn't actually see this until it was kind of too late. So just see how long it's 17:10, right? So he's right on top of my army right here, or my villagers right here. And it's going to be, what, 10 or 15 seconds? There we go. Almost 20 seconds that I stood still. And now I'm down to 10 palace guards. And let's just have a look at how many he's on. There's 14 palace guards and a ram. So we already lost our astronomical clock tower. We are not training any villagers, so there's a lot of microing that needs to go into getting this done. So you can see the villagers, we lost quite a bit of villagers. I'm not sure if you can see how many we lost, but we did lose quite a bit. So the palace guards are being trained. We have no more coming out right now. In the same time, we're in a farm transition. So like I said, there's a little vulnerable side in the Chinese gameplay if they are going full economy. But the side of that, once you deal with that, you are in a really good place to get much further ahead with the villager lead and those type of things. And that's also why it's important to keep an eye on your scout. You can see the scout was able to see some of the men-at-arms and all of that. I even forgot about the ram. Like there goes the barracks, and I'm like, oh, there's still a ram right here. So let's quickly deal with that. But I think that is not a bad investment for what had happened, right? We completely stopped the attack, and obviously it's a little confidence blow to think that you invested that much into a push and it wasn't successful. So immediately we're going for a stone wall to get more of a security on this forefront of the map. We are transitioning into farms, and Control Shift C selects all your military units if they are all over like what just happened, so you can move, and we have a keep drop in the front of the base. So we are pretty much a lot more secured now than we were before, right? So now we are on the wood line. We have Imperial officials. One just, he's focused on this mill to the end of his days. Just keep an eye on that so you can move them around. Better to supervise a granary, because these granaries, if you don't tax them, they build up to 1,000 to 3,000 gold very quickly in the game if you don't tax that gold. Now he's actually going for an Elsbek Palace, very forward Elsbek Palace. Again, if I was the Holy Roman Empire, this Elsbek Palace, defensive landmark, you have to probably put it down on the sacred site or on the gold so that you can actually secure the gold. Right here, it's very isolated from the rest of your base, so reinforcements are going to be slow, and you can see the training now completely changed to siege workshop. Farm transitioning on his side, a little bit of a messy farm, and he does not have the palace. What is I want to say Elsbek Palace because I'm thinking of the keep, but the other landmark. I can't think of the name right time when I used to play them. But he doesn't have the inspiration on the farms because of that. He has inspiration because of the prelate right here, but you know, it's not really the same. And you also want to make sure you get a mosque out or your monastery so you can get that extra 10% upgrade that you need to do with HRE. Now, coming back to our side, you know, we are in a really, really good place. We have the blacksmith now. We got the +2 upgrades. We don't have any range upgrades because we didn't see any range units, and I think it's right here where I kind of started realizing, oh yeah, you know, the counter to men-at-arms is actually crossbowmen. So whoops, that was like a little bit of a mistake, but we did kind of respond. And this is the thing that, you know, you need to take into consideration when you're playing. Every action that you have has a certain reaction. So if you build a stable, he's probably going to build a barracks. If you build barracks, he's probably going to build stables to go for lancers, or he's probably going to build archery ranges because he's going to predict that you are probably going to go into palace guards. Now, Chinese with palace guards and nest of bees, it is a death combo. Like, I have played China for a little bit now. I have been scared to play China for 2 seasons, but now you can see the nest of bees popping out. Our economy is stabilizing on 115 villagers. We have a total of 29 palace guards with a nest of bees. And I mean, if you compare it to his side, right? Let's just hop over. So what I'm pressing is control and that little button just underneath your backspace, so you can switch. You can see on the right here, we are switching between the 2 factions, like myself and himself. That allows me to actually just see what type of upgrades and stuff he has. And he's going for the rams again. You can see there's a relic being picked up. He's going to pop the relic inside the Auersberg Palace. I don't think you can do that I don't think you can do that without the landmark, if I remember correctly. Or you need the landmark to pop it in here. I think so. I'm not sure. We'll see. I think if you can't pop it in there, then that's just if you can't pop it in, that's a bug. As far as I remember, that landmark allows the relic to be placed into keeps and makes the defense a lot stronger. It doesn't happen just because it actually happens when you get the other Castle Age landmark. But now you can see, you know, his economy is nothing to frown upon. Very big army happening right here. You know, you got all the men of arms upgrades for Imperial Age. You know, he doesn't have the Imperial Age upgrades right here. Also, this military academy, it's a 33% boost to training speed. So that's, I don't know if it's 33 for everybody, because that's huge. But we actually have our blacksmith upgrades level 2 and no range upgrades, and we actually went for a Imperial Age just because we knew he went for Imperial Age as well. We went for the Great Wall Gatehouse because, you know, with the gatehouse, with the Barbican of the Sun, the keep, and this is what I was saying earlier, this is the response to his attack. So, you know, there's always going to be a response, and like you saw, it's the siege workshops, the Imperial Age, that was his response to losing that first fight. But now he is, you know, kind of preparing for the second round. We also managed to pick up some relics. You can see there's the 3rd one being dropped in. We picked up this one. There's another one back here. I don't know if we get that, but we'll see. And we also have a bit of a situation right now where we have to transition into other parts of the game. Remember, he rallied all the way here earlier. Now, this would have been a problem if he actually expanded to this side, you know, but he didn't. Everything's happening in the middle of the map, which is not a bad thing, but you have to, what is he securing with this position? Because this is huge. You don't want to run into this by accident. You know, but we are now transitioning into crossbowmen. We are getting the lancers because they deal pretty well with siege, and the villagers now are running down here, and we are transitioning into this gold and stone. And we also sent the gold villagers that was here by the Barbican. They finished the stone and gold right here. We sent them down, they built a little gate, and they are farming very nicely in the bottom corner right here. I'm always nervous to transition out onto the map, but you know, this, in my opinion, the Chinese playstyle, it's very convenient, and you can see how strong this Great Wall Gatehouse is. Check when those nest of beast shots land, but you got a huge shot in with these 4 mangonels. So now we are falling back and using the nest of bees, which is behind the gates, to actually just deal with this front line. We sent the cavalry to the back and dealing with those mangonels, and now we can use the crossbows and those units to deal with the second fight. And like I said, it's kind of all ins from his side, because we're sitting on 127 villagers, castle age, and every single fight we're just getting stronger. And you can see those nest of bee shots, when they do land, they do a lot of damage. So he's going to run these men-at-arms, elite men-at-arms, very strong units onto these nest of bees. But you can see the great wall gatehouse goes down now. If he had to rally all the way here, obviously our villagers would have run into him and we would have known kind of there's a trend to what he is doing. But I haven't attacked once. I haven't attacked his economy or threatened his economy once, because the thing with China is the longer you leave China, the stronger they get. We haven't even gotten to our strengths, right? We have elite crossbowmen. We have the lancers, which are still castle age lancers, right? We do lose a great wall gatehouse that's going to be repaired for about 700 to 1,200 wood, which is fine. But look at our resources, right? Look at the resources per minute. We have 2, 3, 4, 5,000 resources per minute compared to, let's say, 3,000 resources per minute. So we can handle this. We got an Imperial University up. We still have the Elite Army Tactics to get. We still have the Lancer upgrade to get, the Elite Lancer upgrades. We have the Pyrotechnics and Hand Cannoneers to transition into. And also on the barracks, we have the Battle Hardened upgrade. So we just upgrading our army as we're going along. And China is unbelievably strong in the late game. Now you can see, I think he's rallying all the way down here. Let's have a look. He's actually rallied down to this corner right here. I don't know why he's rallied with his barracks is down here. Oh, I think that was by chance. I think the barracks was rallied down here by chance. One of the barracks is, or the Palace of Swabia is yeah, it's still rallied down here. So just a quick tip on that. If you press F2, it selects all your buildings, Control 7, and you right click. If you look at my side, if I press F2, everything is rallied to a central point. Just makes it a lot easier to control. And if you want to have little groups, you can select everything like this, right? Control Shift C. I'm selecting all the units. I'm selecting men-at-arms only, making them control unit 3. Oh, I actually wanted lancers. They're control unit 3 as well. If you shift 3, they are kind of, I think, added. But if you want just those units, those hand cannoneers alone, or the elite palace guards, you control, click them, press 3, and you'll see it goes away from the lancers. So that's just a little army tip right there. But you can see from China's gameplay, tell me what you guys think about this, because you know these death pushes are quite intense. I don't think that's something to frown upon. Obviously it's not a perfect game from either of us, but the defensive playstyle, I think from our side, dealing with elite men-at-arms, which is something you have to respect, plus the upgrades, the maces, the extra damage, the extra armor, it's a lot to deal with, right? So we have the keeps, we have the gold, all being collected right here, and I'm curious how he spots this out. I think the keep fires on him. Fog of War. So he doesn't even know this is happening. I'm very curious how he spots this out, and just look how these units are streaming in on his side. So you can see we have wheelbarrows, second upgrade on fertilization. I forgot about the double broadaxe, by the way. He has the third upgrade on the fertilization, double broadaxe, pickaxe. The upgrades, we have more of the upgrades because we have to deal with the men-at-arms. Very interesting. I don't know why he's moving this way. Why is he moving this way? I have no idea how he spotted this out, because this wasn't scouted. That is very interesting. I wonder if he tried to build here and he couldn't build here, but you know, there goes the keep, that's okay. And we have to respond to this because this is a big part of our gold income. You can see the villagers being garrisoned in the keep here just to get some damage out while we are transitioning our army. Now the problem is when you're moving out of the base, it can also be a diversion for him to pull your units down and have another army, you know, push into the base with lancers or something. So just be careful of that. He has gold secured, so he doesn't need to worry about that. Does he struggle with wood? No, I don't think he's struggling with wood. He has more than enough wood. You know, we have a very safe base. Our wood actually expanded now to... Where is our woodcutters? I don't even know right now. There. We actually have a little bit of a wood issue if the game went on any longer. But we got the stone, we got the army, and now what you can see is we are running the elite units. Sorry for not showing the start of that fight. So we are running the knights, elite lancers out. We are kind of sacrificing the men-at-arms, but the primary army is this right here, which is the Nest of Bees, the elite palace guards, the hand cannoneers, and the 19 crossbowmen. So they are primarily supposed to deal with the elite men-at-arms. I'm surprised he didn't go Landsconnects. It's the strongest unit in HRE, so very, very interesting why he didn't go for that, but that's okay. So we clean up with the Lancers right here, and now we have the Palace Guards and everything happening in our favor. We still have our Nest of Bees. We can see that the Palace Guards is trying to flank around, so we, you know, position our Nest of Bees in the middle, and he taps out. GG, guys. So tell me what you guys think of the game. Tell me what you think of this beautiful base. Look at those farms. I think that looks amazing. That's a really nice farm layout. And all the, you know, buildings and everything right there. We actually went for the dynasties as well. But I think that was a really, really good game. Just a recap here on the statistics. You can see on the society, on the economy. We won on food, wood, stone, and gold. By miles, especially on the gold, which is surprising, especially against the Holy Roman Empire. And the last time I saw numbers like these was when we played Holy Roman Empire in Season 2. The only other faction which is bonkers, unbelievable if you leave them, which would be the Malians. Their gold income is unmatched right now in this game. If you give them relics and sacred sites, game, I think the previous video of mine, I showed a video where the Malians was actually getting 1,700 passive gold per minute in a game like this, a 1v1. Unbelievable. So yeah, you can see all three games right here. We were playing the the Chinese, apologies, and we actually really did well. Chinese versus Chinese. This was a nice, interesting game. I'll see if I'll post it. It was very long, 43 minutes. He just didn't want to give up. Was on prairie, so a lot of running around for wood and stuff. And here we went against the English, an hour and 13 minutes. I just couldn't breach through, but it was also a really nice game. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Please hop onto China. Please tell me what you think of the build orders, and